Boy, listen, everybody can't be in my head. Everybody can't sleep in my bed. Everybody can't be up in my face. Everybody can't be all in my space. Now I might fuss a little bit, cuss a little bit, you know this, yeah. But if you trust a little bit, you gon' get 100%. I don't want nobody but you. Don't want nobody touching me, baby. Don't want nobody kissing me, baby. Don't want nobody loving me, baby. But you, but you. Everybody won't understand my journey. Everybody won't know how to heal what hurts me. Everybody can't be written into my story. Just because they want me don't mean they ready for me. Now I might go a little fit, talk a little slick, I do.
Let me tell you something. It is Saturday morning. I am in the building with DJ Candyman. What's up? What's up, Candyman?
What's going on out there?
Listen, we have to figure out some things. Clearly, our house has been affected really, really bad. I've personally had the flu twice. How many times have you had it?
Just one time. I stayed away from y'all.
Okay. My daughter has had it 3 times. So I don't even know what the deal is with that. So what I've done is I've gotten a huge can of Lysol. So when I go off air, I've gotten Lysol. I've bought Clorox. I have to disinfect my entire house. I'm going to do a country cleaning. Y'all know what a country cleaning is? A country. If you're breathing, you getting sprayed with this. I'm going to take off all your clothes, spray you. I'm spraying mattresses, people, everything. I can't get sick again. I refuse to get sick again. Now I'm saying, this is ridiculous. If you have been so blessed to not get the flu, praise God for you, seriously. Because it's rampant in this house. I'm just going to be honest. Hey, T-Sippers, what's up? I just had to get it off my chest. I'm real sick of being sick. All right, so today we have the Candyman and we have the Tea Lady joining forces. Look what we found. TeaCandy. So what we're going to do, we're going to try these live and on air. So somebody named us TeaCandy. I want to say it was Nicole Bailey out of, is she out of North Carolina? I want to say she's out of North Carolina. So here, catch. You know, I can't throw that well, so here. So we're going to try these live right now. So let's see. Hopefully they're not nasty. So they're called TeaCandy. So hopefully you can see that. See that? So combined with TeaCandy. So let's see what these things taste like. So let's see. All right. Let's see. It's supposed to be classic iced tea, but it's a combination of tea and candy together. As I smack on it, as I talk, I want to give a shout out to my sugar babies. Hey, sugar babies. Hello to everyone that's viewing. Right now, we had a share goal. We had 50 shares last week. I want to try to get my shares up to 60 this week. So take the opportunity right now to share the live before we even get started. We're going to go right into trending topics right after we tell you how this TeaCandy tastes. So the makers of TeaCandy is, who is this? You know my eyes. Balt's Best. I can be a spokesperson. We don't have a problem with it. But that's who makes this. So let's see. So maybe we need to say it tastes good, babe. Let's say.
All right. It tastes just like, what was it here? Like iced tea. That's what it tastes like.
It tastes like iced tea to you?
What it tastes like to me. I don't think I would do something with the tea out.
Would you buy another bag of it? If we can be your sponsors, we will buy plenty bags of this and we will sell it at every set that we go to and everywhere that we go if you'll be a sponsor. It's not bad. I mean, it's not bad. So now expect to get a piece of TeaCandy when you see us out. All right, so let's get into trending topics. You are ready for this, babe? Your mind is open for this? Because we kind of talked about this, so I need you to be open to this. situation, because you know I was a little bit different with this. I don't know. So let's get it.
I'm asking that you stand with me and boycott Netflix for gender bias and color bias. I was offered a $500,000 deal last week to do a comedy special. However, Amy Schumer was offered $11 million, Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle $20 million. Then Amy Schumer went back and renegotiated $2 more million because she said I shouldn't get what the men are getting, they're legends, however I should get more, and Netflix agreed. So last week, we got an offer from Netflix. The offer was for $500,000. So when my husband, who was my manager, Sydney, he had sent, let me go all the way back. Okay. Before we even get to the deal. The first insult was Netflix had to send someone out to see my performance. Okay. So that's really an audition. They sent 2 of their representatives out. Let me get this out there. Thank you, Sugar. They sent 2 of their representatives out to see if they liked my show. Okay. One representative's name was Caitlin. And her response back when she saw the show, thank you all so much for your help. She put on a great show.
And that's on the email right here.
Yes, from Netflix. That's the Netflix email. That's from their representative from Netflix. Okay. Now, they also sent out another representative. His name was Benjamin. Okay. Benjamin then sent us back an email that said, amazing show. Thank you for inviting me. Can we please have 2 more tickets for the show tomorrow? Okay. So when we then wait for the deal and we get the deal is for $500,000. Wow. My husband, Sidney, who is also my manager, he asked Robbie Prawl, who is the vice president at Netflix of comedy, he said, can you please explain how come Monique has this deal and Amy Schumer gets this deal and Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock. And they're rightfully so. Yeah. They should get what they're getting. Could you please explain that? Well, initially, he wouldn't even get back on the phone to have the conversation. Every time we had scheduled, Robbie Prawl was too busy. He couldn't speak with any of us. And then my husband sent them back an email saying we would be interested to think what the public would think, that you're saying Amy Schumer is $12.5 million more than Monique, and Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle is $19.5 million more than Monique. We just like an explanation. So at that point, then Robbie Prawl, his schedule got free because we were saying this looks like racial and gender discrimination. So then he got free and they got on.
Pay that lady her money, man.
I mean, okay, she is no Dave Chappelle.
But she got an Oscar though. Pay that lady more than 500,000. She's least worth $5 million. That Monique, man.
You don't think she's worth $5 million?
She done had a syndicated show. She done did stand up. She done won an Oscar. Man, get that lady her money, man.
Do you think it's gender bias though? Would you go that far and say it's gender bias? Do you think she was typecast based on the type of Oscar I won't say type of Oscar, but the role that she played an angry black woman. Did she get typecast because of that? I think that had something to do with it. And then in that interview, she talked about, oh my God, y'all have to see that whole interview. But you know, she had some shade she threw toward Oprah. You can't talk about Oprah. You can't talk about Oprah and you can't talk about Tyler. Well, I mean, I'm just saying. So a lot of people say that she's blackballed herself.
I don't think so. They need to pay her.
So you think she's worth more than 500,000?
Absolutely.
Okay, is she worth 20 million up there with Dave Chappelle and the rest of those guys?
She may not should get what Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock is, but she should be able to get more than 500,000. That's just like me going to school and become a doctor, and then
turn you up, Marty, so you need to speak up some.
That's just like me going to school and becoming a doctor, and then go to the a place to work and they want to pay me what they pay a nurse. No, I ain't no nurse. I'm a doctor. She has done many movies. not just one or two movies. She's been in several movies, and the reason she got that role in that movie was because of her stand-up and her comedy. So once she won, I mean, you know, 3 6 Mafia got a Academy Award for
what was it?
Hustle and Flow.
The soundtrack or something, right?
Yeah,
The soundtrack.
Yeah. So I mean, nobody's saying, "Oh, 3 6 Mafia, you can't pay them no money when they do a concert." Yeah, you got to pay them because they got the credentials to be paid.
But is she a strong enough figure to say boycott Netflix?
Well, you see, you can't. She can say what she wants to, but that's what the man says. You have a platform. She has a platform. She has a following, and she can say what she wants to say. You know, whether it may affect Netflix or not, you know, I don't know, but you can say what you want to say. Get it out off your chest. You know, that's the best therapy I think in the world is to get it off your chest. So, man, pay that lady, man. You know, if she done put in the work, she got awards, she has credentials. So, you know, it's kind of like, don't pay me, pay the title that I carry.
Pay the title. Can you guys hear Myron? Because I'm still sensing people saying some speakers. Are you trying to talk sexy? Man, we talk on here. This is talk show part.
Can you hear me?
Speak up.
Can you hear me?
How about that?
Can you hear me?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if she's strong enough to say boy. I don't know if she's strong enough to say boycott Netflix. I don't think that's going to work. I still feel some kind of way. I don't know what happened with the whole cookie thing with Empire. Me personally, I don't watch Empire anymore. Why did she turn it down? It wasn't enough money.
Yeah,
but she should have taken that role.
Daniels just didn't agree on, you know, everything.
But okay, so don't you think?
If you don't agree on everything, then you know I just have to turn it down.
Okay, do you think sometimes people can get too big?
No.
I think you can get too big. I mean, I think
you're a star, be a star. Be the brightest star in the world, man.
But I mean, why? That's like, you know, if you make it, then you can't go to the family reunion no more.
If I get into acting and I start on a stage doing stand-up comedy in nightclubs on the Chitlin circuit, so to say. I started off on the Chitlin circuit doing stand-up comedy. Rhyme with Steve Harvey and Bernie Mac and some more and all of these people doing comedy. And then finally I get in and get my own syndicated show. And then I'm getting in movies here and there. And then I get this big opportunity to do this big movie and I knock it out the park and I win an Oscar.
Okay.
You got to pay me for that. I put in 20 years of work and got all the way from the Chitlin circuit, which everybody don't make it. Everybody doesn't make it. She made it. And now you don't want to pay her? Absolutely not.
So y'all are supporting her position on this, saying you got to pay me more money or I'm not going to do it. Because she did make an interesting point. She made the point of, if I take this money, what about people that's coming behind me? Like, what's the girl, Tiffany Haddish and some of the other people that's coming behind me. You think you're going to pay, if I take $500,000, when she wants to come up and do a comedy special, you can easily say, well, you know, Monique took it and she had an Oscar.
Yeah.
That was her position. So I kind of agree with that. But then again, it's like,
as long as Monique was going along with the status quo, she had no problem. But as soon as she started to say that I'm worth more than that, I'm worth more than what you're trying to give me, then she started to get into these being blackballed and having these things. That's not right, man.
Well, we have Tori that said, no, but your ego can be too big. Her big ego is ridiculously overrated. So is it ego or is it your stance?
I got an Oscar, man. Top that. How many?
Well, okay, but wait a minute. Now, that's an interesting point. Is it an ego or is that your stance?
How many black women have an Oscar?
I'm saying, because she did say that. She said, now, think about it. Who's more decorated than me? In terms of a black comedian, female.
A black female
there
comedian,
is not another one that's decorated as her.
Who has an Oscar. So she has the right. I'm the first.
I don't know about this one, Monique, girl. I don't know.
You have the right to have a little bit of throw your chest out just a little bit. Why black folks always got to be ashamed of their accomplishments? You got the right to stick your chest out.
Do you think she's...
Absolutely.
Why? Well, wait a minute, though. Well, let's say this, and I know we got to go on. I get it. But here's the thing. I think it's okay to stick your chest out. I think in the manner in which she's doing, it's almost like she's... And oh God, I hate to say this, but she's coming across as that stereotype, as an angry black woman. I'm sorry. She's coming across as an angry black woman, and I know it's a stereotype, guys. But unfortunately, when something happens to us and we talk about it too much, we start to look angry to media.
Let me say this. Jerry Seinfeld's crew of actors on this show,
right,
they get paid $1 million every episode that airs of that show. Now, Kramer, the guy that plays him, did a stand-up. He's a stand-up comedian. And he said some racial slurish stuff and got in trouble. It was all in the media. But he still gets that $1 million every time that show airs. So why should white men have the privilege to do whatever they want, but then a black woman with an Oscar has to settle for $50,000 or $500,000? It's not right, people. That's just my opinion.
Well, that's a great point, and I don't think we're ever going to resolve that issue. Monique, more power to your sister. I don't know how far you're going to get with
it, but thing out there, girl. Get your paper, boo-boo.
We don't look at Netflix. I just figured I'll state that. Do we even have a Netflix?
I cancel my account because the movies suck.
All right, well, the next voice you will hear is mine, and John. We'll be right back.
Where's Akeem?
He said he had to leave.
But he can't leave.
What is going on? And why are you being so nice to Akeem all of a sudden?
I like the boy.
What are you up to?
What? Nothing. Hey, a man's got a right to change his mind, doesn't he?
Daddy?
You know, you two make a beautiful couple, Lisa.
Daddy?
He's a real fine young man.
Dad?
Okay, Lisa. He's rich. He is rich.
What?
He got his own money. And baby, when I tell you he's got his own money, I mean the boy has got his own money.
I have John. Hello, John.
Hey, how you doing?
I am doing well. How are you?
Doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good.
I am so excited about part 2. I am super.
But wait, can I just chime in on the trending topic?
Oh, please do.
I think that when it comes to the boycott, that is up to an individual person. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, Monique is underpaid for what she does. Now, they could have at least gave her $3 million or $4 million. Now $500,000 is a lot of money to us, but it ain't a lot of money to her. We don't know where she lives. We don't know what our house is like, how much that rent, that mortgage is. She got bills to pay just like everybody else, and it probably costs a lot more than ours. But that being said, Dave Chappelle, Whoopi Goldberg, who, came in before her, their humor was black, but it was also palatable to white people. And that's what made them so big so fast. So you also have to look at it like that. Monique is a comedian that is the true essence of black humor. And time again, a lot of our white counterparts will enjoy everything that we have to offer and pay us $3.28 for it and not value it. So I just say to Black people, I've been looking at the comments as well, oh, well, she ain't done nothing and wah, wah, wah. Don't wait for white people to put a special on Monique and talk about all the accolades and then we trying to throw a parade for her, or for her to be on TV One's Unsung, and talk about everything that she did. And then everybody be like, oh, Monique was one of the greatest comedians of all time.
Yeah.
Let's at least, stand for what it is. She's underpaid. It's wrong of Netflix. And they need to pay her more. They need to pay women more in general. If Amy Schumer can go back and say, I want $2 million more, why can't, Monique say, I want $2.5 million? At least, because, she should be making more than that.
I agree. I just think, I think, let me just say this. I think she does deserve more. I just think maybe her approach is a little wrong.
For a Black person, it is. You get what I'm saying? Because when you white, you can do it all day and don't nobody say nothing. But when you're a Black woman, all of a sudden you're angry and you in your feelings and so on and so forth. But when you white and do it, well, then it's normal and you are a business person and you are savvy and you are spunky and spicy.
Assertive.
But when you are Black, you are angry and you are disgruntled and you need to figure your life out.
Absolutely.
Let me get my bag of TeaCandy and my Lysol because he just finished the show. I'm done. Y'all can actually inbox John your questions at this point. I'm done. But you're right. You're absolutely right, and it's really unfortunate. But that is exactly how it's set up because that is the way. When I was getting ready to actually put that together, I was, of course, you're looking at other clips that's been put together, and they have bashed her so bad, and I'm going, oh my God. And because I'm in media, I have to look at both sides of it and say, ooh. And it makes her look very angry by the time they finish clipping it and putting it together. I'm going, darn, girl, you mad. And oh, Lord, Monique, girl. She turned it down. She said she's gotten offers from other, like Hulu and some other ones, I think.
Cotton picking wages no more, man. We ain't picking cotton and peaches and oranges no more. You got to pay us for what we do.
Well, John, let's get into the man of the hour. Let's get into the man of the hour. We want to go right in. We had a couple. Oh, what are you drinking?
Water.
Oh, well, okay, I'll let you have
Maybe
that.
nice if it was vodka.
Well, it could have a tea bag hanging out the side of it, but we'll let you stick with water. That's fine. I'll go with water. Well, let me pause for the calls. Hello, Oh So Smooth Radio listeners. This is your girl, Tika. I'm talking tea with Tika. I do have DJ Candyman in with me today. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. Thank you. We do have John Lucas checking in with us today. If you are not looking at us on Facebook Live, thank you for listening to us on Oh So Smooth Radio. But we're going to go ahead and get right into this interview. We stopped, we hit on a lot of points, but we wanted to go a little bit deeper into some of those points. One of the main points, I think I want to just go right in. The whole topic of the down low man. That's huge. What are you laughing at? You can't hey. The down low man. I know you and I talked off topic about it. You were like, well, they don't make it where you could just come out and say, hey, I'm married, but I have other things I would like to do. Let's talk about that, John, because you have that going on a lot. And you have a lot of women that's in my age bracket, mid-20s. You're not on camera, first of all. Why are you looking at me like that? That's in your mid-20s. That's in your mid-20s. Anyway, they're married that may be in their mid-40s or so, and they've been married for years. And they may have a man that they are married to, and they have children, they have a house, they have a dog. They're living a life with a man that has been living a secret life of down low activity. What is your response to that?
I think first and foremost, the issue is people, but especially Black people, have not created space for a lot of individuals to be who they authentically are. So if people could actually be who they are and like who they like, um, there will be no need to hide, to be on the down low, but it's not socially accepted. So to go even further, when you talk about that wife that got married to this man, or this man that got married to this woman, and they have kids and so on and so forth, you also have to say that back in the day, you got married because you felt that it was your responsibility, whether you wanted to or not. Your family, you always ask questions like a woman, by the time she's in her late 20s into her 30s, she might get the question, well, when are you going to have children?
Right.
She might not want children, but she's going to get that question because society constantly tells her that that is kind of what is expected of her. So when you are, say, a young man, a black man coming up, they're going to expect you to get married and have kids, you know. And if you're rooted in the church or, so on and so forth, then it's definitely something that's going to be encouraged and pushed your way, whether you want it or not. And if you are in a family dynamic where they feel that that is what should be done and you're afraid of losing that dynamic, then you will do what you do what you have to do to keep it. So you do have men that probably should never have been married in the first place. You know, sidebar, just like back in the day when a guy got a girl pregnant, well then they were encouraged to get married. Not everybody that you have a baby with you should marry. You know, we've seen that time and time again. So it's the societal pressure that creates the down low. It's not the actual person; it's the societal pressure. Um, and sometimes, another sidebar, when you get into transgender, I do believe, there are some people who are trans, they were always, geared more towards that woman if they were a man or vice versa. But I also think that there are people in the middle who are just masculine women or feminine men who do not have a place for them just to be that feminine black man or that masculine black woman in their dynamic, societal dynamic. So then they get pushed to the other side. They are made to believe that, well, I must be a woman because, I am so feminine. No, you're just a feminine man. And there's nothing wrong with that. But society tells you every day that there's something wrong with that.
I'm glad you said that. So let's stay there. Let's stay there for a moment. So when you have the people that say, all right, we get it. You want to, you're gay, you want to be with a man, you're a man, you want to be with a man. Okay, we're good with that. But be a man, fine. But why dress up like a woman if you don't want to be with a woman? Right? And please, I'm coming from a heterosexual mind, and we don't understand. We don't get it, but we want to get it. And I thank you for being so transparent. We want to understand. I think most of us want to understand. I know I do, and I know my listeners do, and I know my viewers do, because I've gotten the inbox messages. They want to understand. Why dress up like a man? I mean, like a woman, if you don't want to be with one? Where does that whole dynamic come from?
I think that whole aspect comes with the idea of fantasy. At the end of the day, a lot of times we all dress up in ways that are not authentic to ourselves. You might put on a mink coat that you paid with your last mortgage payment to make people think that you have money because it is a sign of status and luxury, but you ain't got no damn money. So
if I put on a mink coat, I will have money. I digress. I'm kidding. But go ahead and make your point.
Wait, but you get what I'm saying.
I do.
Whatever it may be, whether people, I think it's a form of expression in a way. Again, I live in New York City where I see a guy in women's clothes, kind of commonly, and it's not a big deal in New Yorkers because in New York, we got other things to do than worry about this guy that decided he wanted to put on a dress and a wig today. But yet again, society tells us that it's wrong. From the time we are yay big, we are told that blue means boys, pink means girls, and that there are certain things that are associated with that.
Okay, so let's talk about this. When you hear the statement, God made, and I know you know where I'm going.
Oh, absolutely.
Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Right.
What is, I know at this point you don't even respond, but what is your initial thought to that?
My initial thought is, who are you to say what God made? You weren't there. Sometimes people come into our lives and are made a certain way to teach us, to challenge us to be better. When you look back at the Native American culture, there were, I think, 5 genders in a lot of the Native American tribes. Man, woman, trans man, trans woman, but they were all accepted, they were all respected, and many of them were revered. And it wasn't until the Christians came over that they disbanded that way of life and killed a lot of them. Because, in the name of God, if you will. Gender and sexuality have been more out
Hey everybody, this is Eric G with Rhythmic Elements Entertainment. Tika, thank you so much for contacting me to be a part of your promotion that you're doing for promoters on your radio show. I was very grateful and honored that you gave me a call. So from me to you, I say thank you so much. So let me tell you what just happened. This past weekend, January 20th, I had my big birthday bash. My 47th birthday, I brought in Michonne Young, Audrey Reed, and the Rock Steady Band. They rocked the house and the people went bananas. She did an exclusive song that she's never performed before in front of a crowd. It's going to be released on her April CD release, but she performed for the first time at my birthday party. It's called Let's Go to Work. So for all those DJs that need or want that song, the song was a hit and the floor was full. People were rocking to that song. So she's got the music ready to go, and I've got the link to get to it. So if you are a DJ and you need that song, reach out to me and I'll get it to you. The next day, on the 21st, myself and Charles Pierce went down to Dallas, Texas to be with my guy Gino Spears. And Gino had a great party, saw a lot of friends down there. Michonne was going down there as well, so she was there. Carmichael Music Level was there. David Joyce was on the box right next to Eric E.T. Taylor from B103, and we had a blast. It was a great time and a great event. So now let's talk about what's coming up. So February the 17th at 1 p.m. in Aurora, Illinois, at the Fox Valley Mall. We are going to be there with Steppers. This is something that Dimples and I have been doing for the last 2.5 years, going on 3 years. We partnered together to put an event in the mall, and people go crazy for this. So Ambassador Kevin Nevels and DJ Vale, they're going to be there on the box. So the 4 of us are going to be there hosting this event. And it's absolutely free. You just come to the mall and enjoy yourself. So that's February the 17th at 1 p.m. at the Fox Valley Mall in Aurora. Now, I'm working on my Smooth Jazz event. Smooth Jazz on the Fox It's a smooth love affair. That's what it's called. So it's going to be great. So all those smooth jazz lovers who really want to have a plated dinner and sit down and enjoy a great evening with just smooth jazz and some good music, I'm going to have it for you March 24th at the Meyer Ballroom in Aurora, Illinois at 7 p.m. I'll have the details coming in about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that. But the details will be on my page, as well as you'll see things on my Instagram page. And then finally, October the 26th and 27th, I'm going to be hosting a smooth jazz event and followed by a steppers event in the Chicagoland area. I haven't got the details on it yet because I'm still looking for a venue, but it's going to be a great time, and you'll get a chance to have a steppers affair one night, and the following night you'll have a smooth jazz event, and it is going to be a blast. The last time we did it, it turned out to be a great hit. So the information that you need for all these events that I had just mentioned to you about February, March, and October, you can call me 847-691-0034, and I will get you the information as quick as I can. And until then, I appreciate you. I love you all. Tika, shouts out to you, girl. And I promise you, I will see you with your feet to the wood.
Necessarily don't make it as friendly to come out. I think we hit on the fact of men dressing as women, that whole dynamic. You kind of talked on that just may be dressing up. I don't know if I really followed you on that piece. Just dressing up just to dress up. Fantasy. Fantasy is what you called it.
Fantasy. Absolutely.
Okay.
When we talk about, again, that societal norm, people say, well, if you have on a dress, then you don't want anything to do with being a man. Just because you have on a dress doesn't mean that you want your penis cut off. That you get what I'm saying? Just because you might dress in a masculine looking suit as a woman doesn't mean that you want a penis or you want to get a mastectomy.
But why dress? Why put on a dress as a man? I'm confused. That confuses me, John. That really confuses me.
You know, it's something that I don't necessarily wholly understand because I don't like to dress up in women's clothes myself.
Okay.
But I am now comfortable enough to be like, if you want to put on a dress and you are not bothering anyone, well, that's your thing. You know, you're not shooting up the place. You know, that's half the battle. So if you want to if you want to put on a dress, just make sure that it's a nice one. And your wig is on straight.
RuPaul has made a pretty good living off of it, I think.
Absolutely. And, you know, he's a trailblazer. But he doesn't want to be a woman. He's still a man when he takes off that drag.
Let's talk a little bit about entertainment. I know that you are in the entertainment business. I kind of perused through some of your portfolio on your Facebook, and I see that you've done. I don't know if it's Lion King or what type of stage play that it is. What is that? You were dressed in the lion garb.
I did Festival of the Lion King, which is a show that they do at Hong Kong Disneyland. So I was in Hong Kong for 2 separate years doing that show.
Amazing, amazing. You looked amazing in that. Amazing.
Okay.
So you're in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Can you please shed some type of light? Now, we talked a little, kind of go back a little bit. We talked about the emasculation of black men when it comes to this whole gay whatever. Surely you have to understand, for us that are heterosexual, when we look at a man in a wedding dress, that's in an entertainment. I don't know this man's name. It was some rapper. What was his name? Candyman.
That wasn't him. That was a lookalike guy.
That wasn't the real rapper?
No, that wasn't Young Thug. That was a guy that was looking like him.
Okay, well, whatever. How are we supposed to respect? Okay. And I hate to say it like this. We supposed to respect everyone that respects us. Don't get me wrong. If I see somebody walking on the street, if they have not disrespected me, I do not have the right to disrespect you. I get it. All right? But how am I supposed to respect you as a man, A, and then as a black man, B, in a wedding dress or in some jeans on that's tight with a pair of heels, and I still supposed to say that you are the image or the epitome of what I think in my mind or what I've been conditioned to think is a black man. Help me with that.
Well, you pick the right word is conditioning. We've been conditioned to view black men in a certain way, not just by our own people, but also by media. Um, so I mean, a lot of times when you see also the guys in heels and so on and so forth, and it's not just in the gay community; it's in the straight community as well. Uh, Money is no longer the root of all evil. Attention is. So, sometimes I think that you don't have to do all that if people see you. I don't have to do all that because people see me. They validate me. They let me know that I am loved. When you talk about another facet of a strong black man, a strong black heterosexual man is a confident man, a man that's confident enough to be in a group setting and see a group of gay people that are being shunned and walk over to them and say, hey, how are you all doing? I just want to let you know that I see you, everything is cool. We good. Instead of joining the bandwagon of, side-eyeing the gay people in the room. You know what I'm saying? That's comfortable with him enough with himself to say, you know what, you are human just like everybody else. You know, you live, you breathe, you go to work. I see you.
That's how
that did not happen. So what happens is a lot of times when you look at a lot of people in general, gay and straight, when they feel they are not seen, they start to do things to be seen. That's why you have all these viral videos on YouTube and people, that in their backyard making their butt clap and just doing all these crazy things. They need to be seen. They need to be validated and heard, and we don't do enough of that, unfortunately. So when you don't get it from the people that you love, you go to other people to get
it. That's an interesting way to look at it. Let's talk about the idea of, do you want children?
I do. I do plan to adopt children. Not necessarily babies because when they're in the baby stage, they scream a lot. They're tone their voice. They scream when they're happy. They scream when they're sad. And it makes my nerves bad. I need to be able to drop you off at your violence lesson and be like, all right, make daddy proud. I'll pick you up in an hour and a half.
Wow. So you do want to have a family. You do want to have the certain things that the rest of us want.
Right.
Okay, so what do you say to those that say, but that's not biblically? Now let's go biblically for a second. Mm-hmm. That's not biblically how that is supposed to be. That's not the way God intended it. Because you have those folks that actually walk with God, so they know exactly how how God intended it to be. How do you answer those types of questions or those types of statements when you make a statement saying, I want to have a family? How do you answer? How do you respond to that?
First and foremost,
keep it clean, John. Keep it clean.
I say, how are you going to tell me that of what God wants when there is there's adoption agencies and foster homes full of black kids that are not wanted? Back in the day before in vitro and all of these fertility drugs, if you could not have children, you adopted children. You went down to the orphanage and you adopted a kid. But now a lot of women can now have children who, say, 20 or 30 years ago, would not have been able to physically have children. So therefore, there are tons of black boys and girls that are thrown by the wayside. They're left in these orphanages by themselves, to kind of live, parentless. So who are you to tell me that I cannot be, a parent to one of these children? Because at the end of the day, you're not going to the orphanage to be their parent and to take them in. I think so many times, and this is just a kind of a blanket statement, that we will allow people to physically, emotionally, spiritually suffer so that we can be comfortable.
Ooh, that's good.
So, the fact that I, as a gay man, might adopt kids, makes you uncomfortable. So you'd rather me not have it. But I might actually be the best thing that could have ever happened to those children's lives.
That's good.
And then when it comes to God, we were talking about that before. We need to rediscover what God is to us, because most people have not even taken the time to see what tribe they come from and see there's a DNA test they could take and see what we actually believed in before Christianity was thrust upon us.
Well, let me sip me some tea on that, because that's a sippable moment right there. I'm just gonna do this. Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's be real, because we don't know. We don't know. Because we don't know, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
And so when it comes, religion, I think should be a beautiful thing and it should bring people together in love. And many times it tears us apart.
Well, let's stay right there for a second, because I want to address those things that we sit around and we talk to other heterosexual people about. We can't answer these questions, so I'm going to ask them. So I know some folks are going, is she really asking him that? Yes, I am. That's what I do. Candyman, don't look at me like that. I got blocked by Monique. I'm kidding. I'm tripping, Monique. If you get this, girl, to the adoption piece. You have some that feel that a gay couple should not adopt the child because you're going to turn that child gay. I've heard that before. Who else has heard? Have you ever heard that before, Myron? A gay couple should not adopt a child because they live a gay lifestyle and they're going to put their gay ideals on the child and make the child gay.
I've heard that, but I don't agree with that. Gay is not like something you could turn or catch. Either you are or you aren't.
Is that a true statement? Are you just because some people say it's a choice?
No, at the end of the day, my parents both heterosexual and I'm gay. So if I, as a gay individual, and if I got kids with my husband or whoever, if we can make our children gay, then my heterosexual parents could have made me straight, if you will. It can't be one sided.
That's a good point. Because that said,
either you are
or you are. So you do not believe that being gay is a choice.
No, it is not a choice. I didn't wake up and be like, I'm going to be gay so that most black people can give me the side eye and look down on me and ridicule me every day. It's something that I've learned to embrace, and it's something that I have learned to celebrate. As because I think that gay individuals are a lot of times the creative, loving special forces that make this world go round as well. We don't see them as that. We have been, entertainers. We have been therapists. If you talk to a woman, a black woman who has a hairdresser that has listened to her problems every week, he's not just a hairdresser, he's also a therapist.
Yeah.
But then when you look back completely at it, a lot of times we are continually used in a way. You know, you will take all the resources we have to benefit you and then throw us away, not be our allies when we need friends and family to stand up with us and say that, he is just as important and special as anybody else in this room. You will not treat them like that. But when you need your wedding dress made or your wedding planned, or when your husband dogs you out and you need someone to tell you that you are worthy to pick you back up, then we are okay.
Then we're okay. Let's go back to choice a little bit, just a little bit. So you said your opinion. And of course, you can't talk for every gay individual. That's not what we're doing, guys. We're not talking for every gay individual. We can only talk from John's perspective. Okay? All right. Now, but when you talk about, let's talk about choice a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When you have folks, and we kind of talked about the download, so you have someone that made a choice to whether they were conditioned, I get married, I marry a woman. There's a man.
Mm-hmm.
I marry a woman, I have a house with a white picket fence, I have children, this is what I do. That was a choice. Whether it was the right choice for them or not, that's the choice that they made based on how they were raised. All right. Later in life, they decided, this is not what I want to do, so I'm going to choose to be gay.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it becomes a choice.
Well, no. What they're doing is they're saying, I'm going to choose to be what I authentically am, because I was suppressing it anyway, so that I could live this life that my family or society wanted me to live. And now I'm not going to live by that, and I'm going to live by who I truly am.
They just choose not to lie about it.
So in all actuality, you're choosing to be yourself.
Wow. That's a good answer to that, because that's something that's been a topic a little bit, just kind of getting ready for the show. It's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice. And I'm like, well, maybe it is a choice, because you got some folks that were gay at one point, now they're not gay. Am I gay this week? No, I've actually known women that have, and I know you can't speak from a woman's perspective, but you've had a lot of women that have been hurt by men, and all of a sudden they're lesbian.
Well, but I will also say this: we often discount or discredit bisexuality. That there are people who are attracted to men and women.
Correct.
But we live in a world where it's kind of not okay, but it's more okay for women than for men to be bisexual. We have to really visit, because I also know there are a lot of women who say, I've been, put through the ringer by men over and over again, but I still am attracted to men. I might be single for the rest of my life, but I'm attracted to men. So then you also have to say to that woman who now all of a sudden is a lesbian, was it that you never entertained being with a woman in the first place because society told you that it was not okay? But you were just a bisexual woman, so it didn't really bother you because you were attracted to men as well, so you found a man to suit you. But if you are bisexual and men are, dragging you through the dirt, but you're also attracted to women, then you might end up with a woman.
That's an interesting point. That's a very interesting point.
Yeah.
I mean, do we necessarily rear our children? Like, you make me think, when you're raising a son, do you raise your son to say, hey, you like boys, or do you like girls? I mean, as a father, do you actually say that? Because it has to go back to choice now. You have me thinking, John. As a father, you don't say that, do you?
You actually, by the time your son is maybe 8, 9 years old, you might ask your son if he has a girlfriend. What are you are you don't ask him if he has a boyfriend. You ask him if he has a girlfriend. You never ask him if he has a boyfriend. So if you prompt actually asked him if he has a girlfriend, well, then you are, remember, communication is not about what you say, how you said it, or what you didn't say. Communication is really about what the other person got from what you said, how you said it, or what you didn't say. So what the what that child is getting from what you're saying is, because you always ask him only if he has a girlfriend, that to be accepted, I have to have a girlfriend.
That's interesting. So you're actually starting the conditioning very, very early.
Absolutely. Girl toys, boy toys. Boys shouldn't play with those toys. You know, it's okay for a girl to play with the truck, but it's not okay for boys, especially black boys, to play with dolls.
And I noticed that you keep saying especially black boys. Is it that much of a difference? You think it's that much of a difference?
There is. I think because when we talk about masculinity, as black people, a lot of times all we had, because our white counterparts back in, Jim Crow, civil rights wouldn't let us really have anything but our masculinity, and they tried to, so that is something that we take pride in, to say that I have this big, broad, buxom, masculine son. He is the pride of our family. So, when you are white, you live in a world of privilege. You don't necessarily have to prove that because you have the opportunities and the privileges that your black counterparts do not have. So they're not as heavy. There is an emphasis, but it's not as heavy as it is in the black community. Because we're trying to hold on as black people to whatever we got.
Wow. I never thought about that. I really never thought about that. One other point I want to talk about, John, I want to talk about this, and then we're going to have to leave because we only have 20 minutes left. I sure hate that.
Right.
Just because, get over yourself, guys. Just because John walks in the room, or any gay man walks in the room, and you're a heterosexual man, they don't want you. They're not trying to hit on you. Don't worry. They're not trying to hit on you. Do you know a lot of men, a lot of men will say, because I have a guy that works with me that's gay. One of the first things a guy in my office says, as long as he don't try to hit on me, I'm going, what? What makes you think he would try to hit on you? Is that something that you hear as a gay man?
Absolutely. I don't hear it as much, but I used to hear it a lot. Like I said in the that Shy Stepper article on me, guys would be like, "Oh yeah, John, you cool with me, as long as you don't try to hit on me." And I would kind of look to the right, to the left, and I'd be like, he'd be like, "What? Well, what's wrong?" And I would be like, "Well, I'm looking at a line of people with, with the line of women waiting to suck your dick." Like so if nobody else is really checking for you, why should I be checking for you?
I mean, honestly, it's okay.
A stepper said, I come there to dance, to have a good time, to enjoy black people. But when it comes to, having a man or bringing a man to my bed, I live in New York City. There are beautiful men all day, every day, everywhere. So why do I got to travel and pay upwards of $500 or so to try to find someone to hang out with when I can have somebody at my house in 15 minutes?
Well, I don't think I'm gonna do this right.
Get over yourself. I think people kind of lose themselves. They trying to see if gay people are checking for them, but actually maybe women ain't really checking for you either.
Oh.
So
sip.
Get your life right. Just be nice. And if a gay guy does come up to you and is trying to kind of come on, if you will, just be like, yo, it's cool, but I'm not, I'm not gay, but you cool, it's cool. Thanks for the compliment and keep it moving. Just like a woman that you were not interested in came up to you and was trying to get at you tough. just realized, we good, but I'm not really into you that way. So, but it's cool. You want to dance? I dance because I am one of the few men in the steppers world that will dance with men, kind of with a feminine flair.
Right.
But just because I dance with them doesn't mean that I'm sexually attracted to them.
There
I
is
dance
a
with women all
difference.
the time that I'm not sexually attracted to.
Y'all heard that, right? Get over yourselves. Get over yourself. John is not interested. Okay? Okay. I love your transparency. I really, really do. Candyman, do you have any questions for John? I mean, we're gonna hit any question that you have that's in your head. Like, I wonder. We did the clothes situation.
Man, I have so many gay folks in my family.
Oh, okay, well, there you go.
We understand. We love them. We treated them well. They never had to feel like an outcast or
Right.
any of that. You gay. That's your sexual preference. That's what you do. But that doesn't make me you're a bad individual. See, I'm a black, and excuse my language. I'm a nigger. I'm nigger black. So
I think that's
I
a
know
different
what
type.
that means to be discriminated upon
Right.
just because of the color of your skin, or you may dress a certain kind of
Right.
way, or you may listen to a certain kind of music or whatever. So I don't judge anyone, man. Whatever you do is what you do. Shit, if you're gay, it's cool, man. We can hang out, but just hey, that's just what it is. Right. I've had gay men approach me, and I didn't act a fool or bust across the head. I just don't go that way, man. It's cool. I must be smelling good today, and went on about my business.
Right.
And that's just what it is. So.
And that is a strong black man.
Right.
Well,
right.
Thank you, John.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I mean, I think, and I think that's okay, and it's okay to compliment each other and be okay with it. You know what? Just be okay. Whatever your preference is, if he doesn't fit what your idea of a black man is, you'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? You'll be okay. I mean,
at the end of the day, he's not your idea of what a black man is, but he's still black.
How about that?
And he's still a man.
And he's still a man.
He's a black
man.
man.
He's still a man. So that being said, a lot of times we outcast, or people want to, outcast the gays and so on and so forth, but they actually should be embracing them, because there's going to be a day when you need them to fight the fight when we're being oppressed, so on and so forth. And there's power in numbers,
Wow.
and we need all the people we got to fight this battle. But instead, we are constantly dissecting each other every day.
Wow.
And it's hurting us.
That's beautiful stuff. Well, I am going to let you go on with your day. This has been an amazing, amazing interview. I am going to post this show once it is edited, guys. I will post it a little bit later on today, so it will be posted in its entirety. We do have a promotional spotlight, but I am not going to show it now. I will show it when I edit it. So, John, thank you so much for sipping water. You sipped water with me. I'll let you sip your water. Next time it will be tea. But thank you so much for your patience. I want to apologize to Monique again because I really think she got me blocked. I'm just saying. Also, the makers of this stuff here, we are still willing to be your sponsors. The Tea Lady and the Candy Man, we are willing. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad candy, so we are willing to be your sponsors. Also, Smooth Radio listeners, thank you so much. Also, Smooth Radio, thank you so much for having us be a part of the brand. Tracy, I see you, girl. Also, Smooth, we love you guys. Tea Sippers, thank you so much for your continued support. Welcome to Candyland. Are you live? No, you're not. Welcome to Candyland listeners. If you guys are here, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your shares. Once I post this video, then we're going to do some shares and stuff like that. So again, John, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love you. Keep doing what you're doing. Before I go, you got to explain these boots. You have the best. Have you seen this man's boots? You've seen John's boots.
Shit, 6'5".
You can't miss his boots. Man, where you get your boots? Wow.
So I designed those boots and had them made, and because the Philippines used to be the shoe capital of the world. Remember, Imelda Marcos was known for having like hundreds and hundreds of shoes.
Wow.
Who Imelda Marcos was the wife of the dictator Ferdinand Marcos. So all back before the big China factory boom, all of the big major shoe lines were making their shoes in the Philippines. So when I was in Hong Kong, a 2 hour flight away, I would go to the Philippines and get shoes made because they were so cheap. So I got like 14 pairs made.
14. Everybody ain't able. I'm just gonna say, everybody is.
I wear like 14 shoes. So
baby, that's
when you get above a certain, the fashion kind of dwindles in the shoes. So you got to get stuff made sometimes.
I don't think I know. That's a lot of gator. That's a lot of gator on your feet, baby. If you wear 14 and you got 14 pair made, that's a lot of gator, baby. Keep doing your thing. Keep wearing them tailored suits. I just want you to keep being John. If you want John to keep being John, y'all show him some hearts, show him some loves. When y'all see him, make sure y'all give him some hugs and let him know how much you love him and thank him for doing this in very, very, very transparent interview. We thank you so much, John, and thank you for being you. And we love you. Sip, sip, and love you. You've been sip, sip approved, baby.
Welcome to the R Spot, the place we come to discuss all things about all kinds of relationships, because our goal is that we have loving, healthy, fulfilling relationships in all areas of our lives. And that's why I wanted to talk about today's topic, our relationship with God. Oh, don't get scared. I'm not going to go all religious on you, but I think it's important that we understand how our relationship with God impacts all of our relationships. Because, see, the only relationship that you're ever having is the relationship you're having with yourself. And that is a function of your consciousness of and your relationship with your source, your creator, or what we call God. How you see yourself, relate to yourself, treat yourself, how you hold yourself within yourself is a function of your relationship with, your ideas about, your learning and concepts, and your judgments of your source, your creator, or God. Now, it doesn't matter what you believe or what you've been taught or what you've made up or what you have convinced yourself is true or not true. You have a source. Something or someone created you. That something or someone sustains the life within you. It's an energy, and that energy is divine and eternal. Now, some call it God, others call it infinite spirits or infinite mind, but it's your life force. And your relationship with that energy shows up everywhere, but specifically in your relationships. Just think how you see yourself in your relationship with God will determine the kinds of relationships you attract, the people you attract, and how you behave in your relationships is based on what you expect from that relationship. It's a function of everything that you've learned about God, your judgments of God, and your experiences with God. And I know for some people, they weren't even taught about God. They weren't taught anything about their source, their creator. I call it God, you call it what works for you. And others were taught only what somebody else believed about God. Now, the problem with both of these concepts of your relationship is whatever it is that you believe about God, whatever it is that you believe in as God, it's going to determine how you create relationships. So let's say, for example, you believe that as a result of your relationships and experiences that you're all alone, that you have to do everything for yourself and by yourself. And let's also say